let's go to the next slide. Oops. Yeah, so this was a woman, just sitting, drinking coffee, and but this woman there was a little street market, and this woman was just looking at a guy who was selling fruit, and she was, she was probably somewhat homeless, I think, but she was sitting there smoking a cigar, and she just had the way she was leaning and everything really intrigued me. So those are the sort of things that I focus on, and then just kind of roughed this out, and she had like ripping her pants and everything, and so she was funny. So we just said, hey, let's draw her. So that's where she kind of came from and evolved from. So let's move on to the next slide over here. This man, I noticed, now again, remember, these are all memory sketches. These were all just done about 10, 15, 20 minutes later from when I saw these people. I find when you do that, you will caricature more. But you're going to just go on your impression of the person, and you're not worried about all the details of that person. You're not trying to get all the exact shape of their eye, the exact shape of their nose, the exact shape of their ear. It's just like you're going to notice these people. And this is the impression that you get. So you look at these people, capture that impression in your mind, and then draw them. And this is what you will be doing as a character designer. This is where you'll learn to push your shapes and push everything else, because you'll get scripts, and you're given a script, and you read the script, and it mentions, maybe is an old man, and he's a very kind, gentle sort of person. He's a grandfather, this sort of thing. And then what you're doing is you're building up your memory bank. And this is the most important thing that you can do as an artist, is start to build up your memory bank and start to build up these ideas in your head that you don't always have to rely on reference, that you won't have to go, what does someone look like when they're standing? What does someone look like when they're sitting? I need to grab a magazine. I need to grab a book. You don't need to do that. You can just invent it, create it out of your head. And so this guy was just standing across the street, ready to cross at the traffic light, and that's where he kind of came from. So let's move on to the next slide. Again, this is just another person, memory sketch, just a little kind old, woman that was, standing, waiting in line. And I just loved her, again, first impression. She was hunched shoulders, she had this long face, these big ears, she had this giant purse. And these are the things that I tried to capture, just to say, these are the things that stuck out. Now, if you put a photograph of her right next to you, you'd probably see something completely different, but, I think you'd get the impression, and that way it just has a lot more life in it. It becomes a lot more fun. So let's move on to the next one. This guy was, again, like I said, I was working at Sony Feature Animation, and we could walk through the back lot of the studio. And this is where this guy was one of the grips or something, walking through. Again, he was just real appealing, with that big chin coming down off his face, and his shoulders really stuck out to me, the way they were just kind of hunched like that. And it was just, again, another really, fun drawing just to try to capture. So, yeah, what I'm really talking about right now is, if any of you have just joined or missed anything, I'm just really talking about the importance of carrying a sketchbook, drawing from memory, as much as you can. I'm going to start getting into more of the life drawing here in a bit, and the importance of doing that too, because it's extremely important. Again, I find that a lot of artists don't want to, really put in the time. A lot of times they're just kind of really looking for the shortcuts. They see something, they see someone's work, and what they really want to do is they just kind of want to be doing that automatically. And the problem is that's not going to happen. There is no magic. There's no little spell that anyone can cast on you that says that you have it now. It's just one of these things that really requires just a lot of work. And once you realize that this is what you want to do for a living, you need to make that commitment. You need to say, I want to be an artist, this is what I want to do, and you need to practice at it and practice a lot with it. And it's like with anything that you want to do, if you want to be in the Olympics, or if you want to play in some large band or orchestra or whatever it may be. It's extremely important to just practice, and that's the real key here, is just to practice more and more. So if you love drawing backgrounds, practice drawing backgrounds. If you love animation, keep animating. I think the mistake that a lot of 3D animators are making today is that they're not learning the basic fundamentals of drawing. They're not learning how to just really observe from life, and they just want to jump into 3D and do that. And you'll find when you look at even a lot of the animators at Pixar and everywhere else, those guys, why that looks so good is a lot of these guys are classically trained. They can draw, they can, were good at doing 2D, or they had at least tried it, and that's why their work looks so much more convincing than someone who hasn't done that before. So train yourselves to do that, and to tell yourselves, I'm going to put in the time and do this. And the more you do it, the better you're going to get. Don't wait, because it's just going to take that much longer. So it's like, start today and start to make that commitment. And fill up sketchbooks, as many as you can, and you'll see that you just keep getting better and better and better as you go on. Maybe you want to commit to just drawing hands for 2 weeks straight, and that's all you focus on. Maybe you just want to draw ears for 3 days straight, so work on different features. So now getting into the life drawing, I think it's important. No, yeah, you can just keep it on this slide right now. Oh, how do I move it? I just hit that. Okay. The most important thing to do again is, I think life drawing is an extremely important thing to do. This life drawing, this was done in around 30 seconds, just using like a brush pen. And the most important thing you get out of life drawing is rhythm, balance, structure, and you'll learn lighting, anatomy, and all these different aspects that you can really get out of drawing from life and doing from life drawing models. So start doing the, I'm hearing feedback. Okay, it's gone now. So really start, doing this. So experiment. Again, just use different mediums, different paper, different types of pencils, whatever it may be. So moving on to this one, is there any way, can I blow these up a bit more? Can we move forward to the screen? Oops. Okay, that's good. Okay, so, moving on to this one again was just drawn, just using brush pen, really quick. These were no more than 2 minutes to do these, so it's really quick, but what you're trying to capture again is the balance and the rhythm and the movement and the feeling and the caricature, of this when you're doing it. And over here, this is again just doing the same thing, just using brush pen and markers, and this is all the same model. This is, and as you can see, some of them are skinnier, some of them I've made larger. So that's the thing that you want to do, is really just push these people and caricature it. And I find when you start caricaturing them all, that's when you start learning the most. Instead of just copying exactly what's in front of you, which is, good, start pushing it more, start caricaturing it, because that's when you start to use the knowledge that you already have. So it's extremely important to do that. Maybe that person's in front of you for 5 minutes, spend 3 minutes drawing them, then don't look at them anymore, turn your piece of paper over and redraw them again from what you recall, because again, that's when you're going to start to learn, that's when you're going to start to remember. And that's when you're going to start to be able to invent and draw your own characters, okay? So it's extremely important, I think to do that. And that's when I really felt that I started to really grow and learn. Because I would go to life drawing, and I'd walk out of life drawing, and I'd say, oh, that was great, I got some good drawings. But then I'd go like, well, what did I really learn? And I couldn't ever recall what I just did. So it's really an important thing to get in the habit of doing, and the more you do it, of course, the better you're going to get. Again, like I mentioned, just switching your mediums as much as you can. These are just like 1 to 2 minute sketches. I think it says 1 minute up there, I'm not sure. And but again, just capturing life, movement, rhythm, balance, and another absolutely important thing. This was just done on Strathmore paper, colored paper with a charcoal pencil and a chalk stick.